All right, guys, today we're going to talk about ratios. First thing we're going to do is we're going to talk real quick about what a ratio is. And you might have actually seen these before, so if you have, great, this will kind of be a review. If not, then, well, good thing we're going over it now. So, ratios are actually how we're going to learn to compare quantities using mathematical vocabulary. And a quantity is just how much or an amount of something. So a quantity of a carton of eggs is typically 12 because there's a dozen eggs in there. So a ratio is a relationship where for every X units of one quantity, there are Y units of another quantity. So let's say for every day, I drank 6 waters for every 2 sodas I had. This is an example of ratio, 6 waters for every 2 sodas. That means every time I have 6 waters, I allow myself to drink 2 sodas, which you guys know isn't true, but this will work for the purposes of our lesson. In a ratio, the quantities X and Y, so the 6 and 2 are called my terms. I'm going to put in parentheses over here, 6, 2. So these are my terms. These are my quantities really here. So ratios are actually pretty simple. They can be written in 3 ways. The first way it is word form, where the ratio of X to Y, here we're going to say waters to sodas, is 6 to 2. I'll put X over this and Y over this. We can also write a ratio using a colon, where we say the ratio of waters to sodas is 6 to 2. And lastly, we can write a ratio as a fraction, where we would say the ratio of waters to sodas is 6 to 2. Notice I put my X here saying my waters and my Y is my sodas, and I always kept my order the same. If I said X first, then I put the term for X. If I said Y first, I would have to put the term for Y first. So if I said the ratio for the ratio for soda to water is 2 to 6. So you have to match up whatever your words say is first, your terms or your numbers have to match that. And that's what this means when the terms and the numbers correlate. Meaning these two go together, so they should both be first. These two went together, so they should both be second, and vice versa. So you're going to write the following ratios using all 3 forms. The ratio of girls to boys in our class. There's 10 girls to 11 boys. I'm going to tell you that much right now. So the ratio of girls to boys in our class is, I'm writing girls first because that's my first thing I'm comparing, 10 to 11. Writing in all 3 forms. The ratio of girls to boys is 10 to 11 or 10 to 11. I don't know why I just put a 2 there. Go ahead and pause and try the next one on your own. All right, this one wants to know the ratio of pennies in a dollar to quarters in a dollar. Well, I know there's 100 pennies in a dollar. I know there's 4 quarters in a dollar. So the ratio of pennies to quarters in a dollar is 100 to 4. Or the ratio of pennies to quarters in a dollar is 100 colon 4. Or the ratio of pennies and quarters is 100 over 4. All right. You guys have 6 problems. Several of them include the pennies, quarters, things like that. Do your best on these 6. I want to see it written in all 3 forms. If you come in tomorrow and you have them written one way, I will not accept it. You will lose a ticket for that because it says to write using all 3 forms. So I should see 3 answers for each. This was not terribly difficult, guys, so you should be able to get this done pretty quickly. See you tomorrow.